Shalom, shalom, welcome. Let's read Melachim 1. That's First Kings. We have a lot of verses here, so let's get started. I'm reading in Yah Scriptures. And sovereign David was old, advanced in years, and they covered him with garments, but he could not get warm. So his servant said to him, "Let them seek for our master the sovereign a young woman, a maiden, and she shall stand before the sovereign and be his companion, and shall lie in your bosom, so that our master the sovereign gets warm." And they sought for a lovely young woman in all the border of Israel, and found Abishag the Shunammite, and brought her to the king. And the young woman was very lovely, and she was a companion for the king, and served him, but the king did not know her. And Adoniah, son of Haggith, exalted himself, saying, "I reign." And he prepared for himself a chariot and horsemen, and 50 men to run before him. Now his father had not worried him at any time by saying, "Why have you done so?" He was also very good-looking, and he was born after Absalom. He talked with Joab, son of Zeruiah, and with Abiathar, the priest, and they supported Adoniah. But Zadok the priest, and Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, and Nathan the prophet, and Shimei and Rai, and the mighty men who belonged to David were not with Adoniah. And Adoniah offered sheep and cattle and fatlings by the stone of Zoheleth, which is in Ain Rogel. He also invited all his brothers, the king's sons, and all the men of Yehudah, servants of the sovereign. But he did not invite Nathan the prophet, or Benaiah, or the mighty men, or Shelomo, which is Solomon, his brother. Nathan then spoke to Bathsheba, the mother of Solomon, saying, "Have you not heard that Adoniah, son of Haggith, has become king, and David our master doesn't know it? And now let me give you advice, and deliver your own life and the life of your son Solomon. Go immediately to King David and say, 'Did you not, my master, O king, swear to your female servant, saying, Certainly your son Shlomo shall reign after me, and he shall sit on my throne? Why then has Adoniah become king? Look, while you are still speaking there with the king, let me come in after you and confirm your words." And Bathsheba went into the room to the king. Now the king was very old, and Abishag the Shunammite was serving the king. And Bathsheba bowed and did obeisance to the king. And the king said, "What do you want?" And she said to him, "My master, you swore by Yahweh, your Elohim, to your female servant, saying, 'Certainly Shlomo, Solomon, your son, shall reign after me, and shall sit on my throne.' And now look, Adoniah has become king. And now my master the sovereign, you do not know about it. And he has offered great numbers of bulls and fatlings and sheep, and has invited all the sons of the king, and Abiathar the Kohen, and Joab the commander of the army. But he did not invite Shlomo, Solomon, your servant. And you, my master, O king, the eyes of all Israel are on you, to declare to them who is going to sit on the throne of my master the king after him. Otherwise it shall be, when my master the king rests with his fathers, that I and my son Shlomo, Solomon, shall be considered sinners." See, while she was still speaking with the king, Nathan the prophet also came in. So they informed the king, saying, "Here is Nathan the prophet." And when he came in before the king, he bowed down before him with his face to the ground. And Nathan said, "My master, O king, have you said Adoniah shall reign after me? He shall sit on my throne. For he has gone down today, and has offered great numbers of bulls, fatlings, and sheep, and has invited all the king's sons and commanders of the army, and Abiathar the priest. And look, they are eating and drinking before him. And they said, 'Let King Adoniah live.' But he has not invited me, your servant, nor Zadok the priest, nor Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, nor your servant Shlomo, Solomon. If this matter is far from my master the king, then you did not let your servant know who should sit on the throne of my master after him. And sovereign David answered and said, Call Bathsheba to me. So she came into the king's presence and stood before him. The king took an oath and said, As Yahweh lives, who has redeemed my life out of all distress, even as I swore to you by Yahweh Elohim of Israel, saying, Certainly Shlomo, Solomon, your son, shall reign after me. He shall sit on my throne in my place, even so I do this day. And Bathsheba bowed with her face to the earth, and did obeisance to the king, and said, Let my master, King David, live forever. And King David said, Call me Zadok the priest, and Nathan the prophet, and Benaiah son of Jehoiada. And they came before the king. And the king said to them, Take with you the servants of your master, and you shall have Shlomo, Solomon, my son, ride on my own mule, and take him down to Gihon. And there Zadok the priest and Nathan the prophet shall anoint him king over Israel, and blow the horn, and say, Let King Solomon live. You shall come up after him, and he shall come and sit on my throne, and he shall reign in my place. I have appointed him to be ruler over Israel and over Judah. And Benaiah son of Jehoiada answered the king and said, Amen. So says Yahweh Elohim of my master the sovereign. As Yahweh has been with my master the sovereign, so let him be with Shlomo Solomon, and make his throne greater than the throne of my master King David. Then Zadok the priest and Nathan the prophet and Benaiah son of Jehoiada and the Kerethites and the Pelethites went down and had Shlomo Solomon ride on King David's mule, and took him to Gihon. Zadok the priest took a horn of oil from the tent and anointed Solomon. They blew the horn, and all of the people said, Let sovereign Shlomo Solomon live. All the people came up after him, and the people played the flutes. They rejoiced with great joy, so that the earth was split by their noise. And Adoniyahu and all the guests who were with him heard it as they finished eating. And Joab heard the sound of the horn and said, Why is the city in such a noisy uproar? And he was still speaking. Then see, Jehonathan came, son of Abiathar the Cohen, and Adoniyahu said to him, Come in, for you are a brave man, you bring good news. But Jonathan answered and said to Adoniyahu, No, our master King David has made Shlomo king. And the sovereign has sent with him Zadok the priest, Nathan the prophet, and Benaiah son of Jehoiada, the Kerethites and the Pelethites. And they had him ride on the king's mule, and Zadok the Kohen and Nathan the prophet have anointed him king of Gihon, and they have gone up from there rejoicing, and the city is very moved. This is the noise you hear. Further, Shlomo sits on the throne. Further, the servants of the king have gone to bless Barak, our master, sovereign David, saying, Let your Elohim make the name of Shlomo better than your name, and his throne greater than your throne. And the king bowed himself on the bed. And the king also said, Blessed be Yahweh Elohim of Yasharel, who has given to sit on the throne this day while my eyes see it. All the guests who were invited were afraid and rose, and each one went his way. And Adoniyahu was afraid of Shlomo and rose and went and took hold of the horns of the altar. It was reported to Solomon, saying, Look, he is afraid of King Solomon, and look, he has taken hold of the horns of the altar. Let King Solomon swear to me today that he does not put his servant to death with the sword. And Solomon said, If he proves himself a worthy man, not one hair of him is going to fall to the earth. But if evil is found in him, then he will die. And King Solomon, Shlomo, sent, and they brought him down from the altar, and he came and fell down before sovereign Shlomo, or King